Buenos dias from San Gervasi. This is the Rorschach Spain update from the 22nd of May, 2025. Quick summary of what's going down in Spain. First up, on Monday the 19th, the government drafted a law to approve the regularization of over 500,000 undocumented migrants living in Spain, establishing a temporary, exceptional, and time-limited order to grant residence and work permits to foreigners who've been in the country since before the 31st of December 2024. This new proposal updates an earlier initiative that gathered more than 600,000 signatures but stalled in Congress. Unlike the original plan, which set the deadline at the end of 2023, the new law extends it by a year. The law complements recent reforms in Spain's immigration regulations, which include new pathways for residency and family reunification. Specific eligibility requirements will be defined later while the government irons out the details. Also on Monday, the Consumer Rights Ministry ordered Airbnb to take down thousands of rental listings that violate regulations, including listings without license numbers or unclear owner details. The governing body was formed in 2023 and is responsible for consumer rights and related policies and has taken over responsibilities previously held by the Ministry of Health and Finance. One of their key targets is regulating tourism rentals through the holiday rental market, which the ministry says has contributed to the lack of affordable housing across the Iberian Peninsula. Airbnb says it plans to appeal and has argued that some of these 65,000 listings mentioned are lawful rentals. Even more Monday drama. On the 19th, many major mobile networks suffered a widespread network outage. Disruption primarily affected landlines, but also interfered with mobile networks across the regions, including Aragon in the northeast, Extremadura in the west central, and Basque Country in the north, as well as Valencia in the east. The 112 emergency line was also temporarily down, but thankfully was quickly restored. Telefónica, the telecommunications giant, has since apologized, saying that the outage was because of network upgrades. Services were restored later on Monday, but only weeks after the national blackout, the broader stability of the country's infrastructure has been put into question. Next, President Pedro Sanchez wants Israel out of cultural events like Eurovision because of its military campaign in Gaza. Speaking at a conference in the capital on Monday, Sanchez argued that there should be no double standards in culture, referencing Russia's exclusion from such events following the invasion of Ukraine. And he's not alone. Sanchez remarks echo growing controversy over Israel's participation in Eurovision. Speaking of Eurovision, Spain's public broadcaster TVE said it hit a record while showing the song contest this year, drawing nearly 6 million viewers to their TV screens. However, Melody, Spain's representative, finished 24th out of 26 countries with her song Esa Diva, tying the country's second worst result ever. After the results, media rumors said Melody was angry and refused to travel back with the Spanish delegation. She denied this, saying that she simply wanted to return to her 1-year-old son and family after 3 weeks away. Austria's JJ won with 428 points for Wasted Love, followed by Israel and Estonia. Now for news across the pond. Last week, the United States government reissued its travel alert for Spain and Germany, keeping them both at level 2 out of 4, which advises increased caution. The reissue encourages American citizens to exercise increased caution regarding imminent risk of terrorist attack and civil unrest. Previously, the only advisory is for terrorism. As it stands, the U.S. is the only country to update its travel guidance, saying that recent protests, political issues, and the coming summer season have increased the risk of civil unrest in Spain. The Spanish government hasn't commented on this change yet. As with so many current announcements by the U.S. government, everybody really just shakes their head, says, weird, and moves on. In tech news on Monday the 19th, news outlet Euractiv published an article announcing that France, Spain, and Greece plan to request the European Commission to implement strict EU-wide measures aimed at limiting children's access to social media. In a joint policy paper, the three countries are calling for mandatory and robust age verification systems, establishing an EU minimum age for social platforms like TikTok and Instagram, which are both 13 years old, and advocating for stronger parental controls and safeguards. The three countries have cited health risks, including increased anxiety and body image issues for constant exposure to harmful content, as some of the main reasons for these changes. While France and Greece support banning social media access for under 15-year-olds, Spain favors a broader EU-wide discussion, which is set for the 5th of June, when the EU digital ministers will meet to update the Digital Services Act guidelines. For the first time in over 30 years, El Atazar, the largest reservoir in Madrid, has begun overflowing due to record water levels. This rare spectacle, last seen in 1991 as a result of an exceptionally rainy spring that has filled the region's 16 reservoirs to near capacity, with Madrid sitting at a comfortable 97% capacity. Since March, controlled discharges have gone ahead, but now water has been seen spilling out of its upper outlet. 8 other dams across the region have also been releasing water, which could cause floods if left unchecked. Better get your tissues out, as according to popular weather site El Tiempo, from Tuesday the 20th, pollen allergies will reach peak levels, affecting over half the country after weeks of rain that temporarily reduced pollen counts. Recent rising temperatures have triggered intense plant pollination. The unusually lush vegetation from earlier rainfalls, pollen levels, especially from grasses and olive trees, are now extremely high, particularly in central, western, and parts of northeastern Spain. Around 20% of Spain's population suffers from pollen allergies, with grasses being the major trigger. If you're suffering from any of the symptoms, just know you're not alone. Meanwhile, on Wednesday the 21st, 5 individuals were found guilty of racially abusing the Real Madrid star Vinicius Jr. during the 2022 match against Real Valladolid. The Valladolid Provincial Court handed them 1-year suspended prison sentences and fines of around 1,500 euros. The culprits have also been told they cannot commit further offenses or attend football matches for 3 years, otherwise they'll face repercussions. La Liga, the Spanish football league, called it an exemplary ruling, as this is the first Spanish court decision to classify racist abuse at a stadium as a hate crime, marking a significant step in combating racism in sports. Bit tinto? Well, the University of Navarra in the north is launching a groundbreaking 4-year clinical trial to examine the long-term health effects of moderate alcohol consumption among over 50s. The study will be funded by a 2.4 million euro European Research Council grant and is in need of 10,000 volunteers living in Spain between the ages of 50 and 75, already consuming at least 3 alcoholic drinks weekly. Participants must also be in good enough health to complete the trial. 4,000 participants have already signed up, but the study needs 6,000 more by June to get things going. Volunteers will complete surveys, quarterly check-ins, and health tests tracking heart health, metabolism, and emotional well-being. The goal is to clarify whether daily moderate drinking offers health benefits or poses risks such as cancer. And finally, let's talk about some food with an interesting story about the artichoke. The artichoke has mythological roots in ancient Greece, where Zeus transformed a woman named Thinara into the spiny plant after she rejected him. While that's a bit nutty, what isn't is Spain's love for this humble vegetable as the world's 3rd biggest exporter of cultivated artichokes, mainly from Murcia, not Castroville, in the south, as well as Valencia. The artichoke is celebrated across Spain in a ton of traditional dishes. You can find it grilled fresh, pickled, even in tea. This made you hungry? Find yourself a plate of Spanish classic before the season ends in early June. Need some inspiration? Join Spanish chef Omar Alibajoy and cook a classic Spanish artichoke dish with the link in the show notes. That's it for this week. Thanks for joining us. You know, we have other updates. We've got country updates as well as non-country updates, the Arctic, multilateral, and ocean updates. Check for the full list in the link in the show notes. Hasta la próxima.